Welcome to the Pinebrook Market Update webinar. I'm Ron Wilstein, a broker at Keller Williams Luxury Properties here in Park City, Utah. Thank you for joining me in this presentation. I want to cover three things with us today. Number one, I want to take a brief look at the overall Park City real estate market. Number two, I want to look at recent sales and prices in Pinebrook. And then thirdly, I want to look at the length of times homes are taking to sell in today's market and why. Let's take a look at Park City's real estate sales. The Park City real estate market is strong. The current inventory of listings for sale is at the lowest level that it's been since we've been keeping records in the Park City Multiple Listing Service, which goes all the way back to 2007. Over the past 12 months, there's been 1,348 sales, and that consists of homes, condominiums, and vacant land. That is a drop of 3% or 45 sales from the 12-month period the year before. This graph here shows us homes, condominiums, and lots. And in the red bar, we're seeing the period of time from May 2017 through April 2018. The silver bar represents the 12-month period the year before. And you can see that the number of sales is actually down, primarily because of limited inventory, with homes dropping from 548 sales to 535 sales, a 2% decrease. Condominiums down 3%, dropping from 661 sales to 638. And even lots are down from 184 sales, 9 fewer sales to 175. That's a 5% decrease. But what's happening with prices? Everyone's always interested in knowing what's happening with prices. The good news is they're going up. Here we're looking at the median home sold prices, and this time I've broken it up between Park City and the Snyderville Basin, which is the county area of Park City. Property values have increased in the city limits by 7%, with the median sold price rising from $1,790,000 to $1,907,750. Also, we're seeing a 7% increase, so it's pretty steady inside the city limits and outside the city limits, climbing from $967,500 to breaking the million threshold of $1,040,000. So prices are up in terms of homes. Condominiums, again we see increases, this time in the city limits, a whopping 12% increase, with the median sold price for condominiums climbing up to $765,000 from the previous $685,000. In the Snyderville Basin, a 3% increase from $482,500 to just below $500,000 at $498,000. Vacant land, also an increase, look at this in the city limits, climbing 33% from $680,000 to $907,500. Now I need to point out that there's been 25 sales during the last 12-month period, which means we're not talking about a large sampling, and you could have 1 or 2 lot sales, even 3 lot sales that are in a superior location during the last 12 months compared to some that were for sale the year before. That could account for it. So when you see the 33% increase, it's a true statistic, but I don't want you to think that every lot went up by that much, because that would be an inaccurate way to interpret it. In the Snyderville Basin, we see a 2% increase, with lots climbing from $460,000 to $470,000, a 10% bump. Now let's take a look at the Pinebrook neighborhood. Home sales in Pinebrook are up 7% over last year's number of sales. During the past 12 months, there were 46 sales compared to 43 the year before, so the demand for homes in Pinebrook has remained strong. Now let's take a look at absorption rate. We like to look at absorption rate because it forecasts how long the homes currently on the market in Pinebrook will take to sell, based upon how many homes sold in Pinebrook during the past 12 months. Pinebrook homes are selling at a pace of 1 sale every 8 days, which is very strong. There are currently 8 homes on the market in Pinebrook, which equates to a 2-month inventory. Now, the National Association of Realtors says that a balanced market, equal number of buyers and sellers, is about a 6-month inventory. In fact, in resort areas, it tends to be a 9-month inventory. So the fact that in Pinebrook it's only a 2-month inventory definitely favors sellers over buyers in the current marketplace. Home sales have ranged between $545,000 all the way to $1,975,000, with the median sold price being $950,000, which happens to be up about 3% over the previous year's median sold price, which was $920,000. So demand is good and prices are still on the rise. Lot sales in Pinebrook are up 100% over last year, and that means that where we saw 4 sales this past year, we've seen 8. Now that speaks to the fact that, as I mentioned earlier in this webinar, that there's a shortage of homes for sale, so more people are looking at land in order to build their own dream home, and that's what we're seeing in Pinebrook. Pinebrook lots are selling at a pace of 1 sale every 46 days, and there are currently 4 lots on the market in Pinebrook, which equates to a 6-month inventory. And of course, we're doing this webinar during May. We're moving into the prime home selling season and also home site selling season. Prices for lots in Pinebrook have ranged from $150,000 all the way up to $406,000, giving us a median sold price of $279,500. That is up 24% over the previous year's $226,000 median sold price. So prices are strong, the demand is strong for vacant land. Now, if you would like to receive details on the homes and the lots that make up the statistics that I've shared with you, I want to show you a very easy way for you to do it. Simply go to our primary website, BuyParkCity.com/Pinebrook. That is the page specifically dedicated to Pinebrook, and select the Request Recent Sales Data button. In fact, let me just show that to you. Here we're looking at BuyParkCity.com/Pinebrook. There's a number of good things here for you to observe. Let me just get out of the way here. First of all, you can go to this website anytime you want and watch the current webinar for Pinebrook. In effect, that's what you're doing right now. But you can also go to recent sales data, and if you click on that, it opens this window, and you'll notice it says, email me sold data on recent sales in the neighborhood or condominium listed below. You go down to this section here, and you simply type in Pinebrook, and then complete your name and your email and phone number so we can contact you. And we will send to you by email the information that makes up the recent sales in Pinebrook or any other area. If you're interested in a specific Pinebrook condo, just type that in there. Doesn't matter what it is. If you would like to receive our Park City Real Estate newsletter, simply click this box here, and that will open up a box here where you can put your mailing address, and we'll send that off to you. Either way, you select the submit button when you're done. Now let's take a look at how long it's been taking homes to sell these days. According to the Park City Multiple Listing Service, homes have been selling over the past 12 months in 97 days on average. This means that when a property is priced correctly, based upon recent comparable sales, they sell in less than 100 days on average. Now, of course, that means some sold faster, some took more than 100 days, but that's the current statistic as of this month. The Multiple Listing Service also tells us that the current inventory of homes for sale in the Park City area are staying on the market longer than in previous years. So yes, on the one hand, price it correctly, they're selling quite quickly, but because many sellers are choosing to overprice their properties, buyers are refusing to pay those higher asking prices, and it's slowing down the marketplace for those folks. Now let's take a look at an important graph. This graph here shows us that the average time on the market for homes that have sold is 97 days. Now let's take a look at the average time on the market of active listings that have not yet sold. 179 days. Now this is an interesting contrast. Those that sell on average less than 100 days. Those that haven't sold can be on the market easily 6 months and still not be sold. Now what this doesn't show us is it doesn't show us the cumulative days on the market when a property is relisted, whether it's with the same realtor or a different realtor, and now there is a cumulative time over several listing periods. How long are current listings that have been relisted been on the market? 283 days. Now that's really quite striking here, because that means that you price your property correctly, you can sell it in on average 97 days. If you overprice it, trying to get the highest price because we have a limited inventory marketplace, sellers are waiting 283 days still without selling it. Average escrow once you go under contract is 30 to 45 days. Got to add another 30 to 45 days on that to get a sold figure. So it really makes a big difference where you price it and how long you want to be on the market. The Park City multiple listing stats show us this. Price your property right, it will likely sell within 100 days. Overprice it and your property will likely be on the market for 283 days or more without a sale. So let's consider this timing. When a property is listed, that's when you see the greatest amount of activity because it's new, it's a new listing. There's typically buyers out there who want to buy a property, they haven't found it, and so you see a lot of activity the first couple of weeks of a listing. Then as time goes on, if it hasn't sold, the activity starts dropping off, in part because everyone looking has seen it already, and it starts becoming a little bit stale in the market. People are starting to wonder what's wrong with the property. Is it overpriced? And the interest starts dropping off. So days on the market are an important thing to consider when your goal is to sell your property. This graph shows it a little bit differently, where a seller might say, Ron, there's a limited inventory here, so I can price my property higher, and so I'm going to price at this number, see what happens. Very common thing that people do. Period of time goes by, doesn't sell, they make a correction in the price, they lower it. Some more time goes by, have to do it again. So again, you go back to why do you want to sell your property? Try to match it with your length of time of having your property on the market. Now, to assist you in correctly pricing your property, I've recorded a special webinar entitled How to Price Your Property to Sell in Today's Market. And I go through tips in greater detail to assist property owners when they're thinking about selling their property. So you may want to check it out. Go to BuyParkCity.com/selling. Look for this image that's behind me and watch that webinar, and I think you'll find it helpful. If you want our input on how your property compares to other properties that have sold, give us a call. We're happy to help you. We'll come out and look at your property. We'll answer any questions that you have. If you'd like to learn how much your Pinebrook property is worth in today's market, simply go to BuyParkCity.com and select the free home valuation button at the top of the page. Let me show that to you real quick. Here's the page we were just on. Go up to the upper right-hand corner. It says free home valuation. Click on it. You'll see this form which says, I'd like to know what my property is worth. Contact me for a free property valuation. Include your name and the way to contact you. Click the submit button and that will come to us and we will reach out to you, make arrangements to see your property and get you the information you want. It's just that simple. If you have any questions about Park City real estate or Pinebrook in particular, call or email me at ron@thewilsteinteam.com or my colleague Doug@thewilsteinteam.com. And if you'd like a call back, include your phone number and a preferred time and we will give you a ring back. As we wrap up now, I want to remind you each and every month we have our Park City Market Talk webinar. It's about 15 minutes in duration. We talk about the market overall, much like what we did on this webinar, although we go into greater detail. And then we discuss 3 or 4 other topics that are timely for the Park City area or the real estate market. So feel free to check that out. Always trying to give you updated information on what's happening in Park City. Thank you very much for participating in this webinar. If you liked the webinar, if you found it helpful, please do us a favor, go to the YouTube icon button below this window, click on it. That will take you to our YouTube channel, and there you can give us a thumbs up, a like, and if you want, you can subscribe to our webinar channel, and whenever we do an update, you'll get a little reminder, and you can watch it if you want. It's just that simple. Again, I suggest that you bookmark BuyParkCity.com/Pinebrook. That will allow you to watch the most current Pinebrook webinar. We update these about every 6 months. It will allow you to request current sales data, lots of things. It's all right there for you. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.